Alcohol, temporary fun with permanent consequences. The National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism website states that binge drinking is known as a pattern of drinking that allows a person's blood alcohol concentration, or BAC, to reach above 0.08%. Because I am familiar with individuals that participate in binge drinking, I decided it was important to convince you all of why you should join the movement of stopping excessive drinking and why it's important. Excessive intoxication of alcohol has the ability of ruining relationships, damaging your health, and threatening society. First, we will discuss how excessive drinking can affect your relationships. It can ruin relationships by causing physical or verbal abuse between one another. Of course, these relationships are not just limited to spouses or intimate partners. They can also be children, parents, other family, relative members, and also your friends. The Journal of the American Medical Association stated 92% of domestic abusers abused alcohol during their domestic violence incident. This shows that these abusers were definitely provoked by the alcohol, and it affected their different feelings of anger, violence, and aggressiveness towards their loved one. Now you may think, how do these individuals deal with abuse from the drinker? How do they deal with this? Some may also abuse alcohol with them as well. They may see their significant other depending on alcohol to deal with their issues or cope with their lives or whatever. And they may feel as if this is something that they are passionate about. Maybe I should see what it's all about, and I should also depend on alcohol as well to mend our relationship and help us get past the issues that we do have. And in reality, this can just make the situation even more toxic and just ruin the relationship as a whole. They may also become rebellious to the drinker. For example, children may see their parents abusing alcohol daily and then taking that stress out on them. And this may cause them to want to see their parents upset and hurt because of the hurt that they have experienced maybe in their childhood. So with that being said, they may stop going to school or become involved in criminal activity. Lastly, they may just stray away from the drinker and have nothing to do with them at all. They may have tried to help them overcome this and stop drinking as much as they are, but they are just fed up with the abuse that they have experienced in the past, and they've just found a way to just live their lives without them. Furthermore, binge drinking is known for causing multiple health issues and can eventually cause to death. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism website does state that alcohol can damage the brain, the heart, and the immune system. So it can affect the brain, damage the brain by making it hard for individuals to think clearly and with their coordination within their body. It can also affect their mood by, for example, when some people drink, you see that they become very sad and want to be alone. And then some people, you see that when they drink, they are angry and they want to retaliate in violence with anyone that talks to them, looks at them, anything like that. It can also damage the heart by causing strokes, high blood pressure, and it can irregulate the heart rate, which can lead to heart failure and death. Lastly, it can affect the immune system by allowing the immune system to become open to different diseases and illnesses easier in an easier way because it is filled with such toxic of the alcohol. The body is now more at risk to those diseases and different infections. The Center and Prevention reported 76% of alcohol poisoning deaths between 2010 and 2012 were between 35 and 64. This shows that middle-aged individuals are more likely to become infected with alcohol poisoning, which can eventually lead to death. And this is very surprising coming from many high school teenagers or college students that do drink a lot and party and everything. And the middle-aged are the ones that are more likely to be affected with alcohol poisoning, mainly because they have binge drank maybe for many years, maybe over 10 years, which is why they're more likely to become poisoned. In addition, binge drinking is a threat to society. Now, you may think, how can someone deciding to drink overly amounts of alcohol affect me? I'm a part of society. How does that affect me? It can affect us by the issue of drunk driving. Drunk driving has been an issue within our society for many years. Many individuals become overly intoxicated and get behind the wheel and put not only themselves in danger, but other drivers on the road as well. This can lead to the deaths and permanent injuries and permanent illnesses of many people. The Government Highway Safety Association website stated in 2016, 10,497 people were killed in crashes that involved drunk driving. This is very eye-opening because it allows you to consider people that you love, your loved ones, maybe being one of those people being in those drunk driving incidents and maybe facing permanent injuries or permanent illnesses or maybe even death. So this allows us as a society to just see how big of an issue it is. It's killing people. To protect our society and our local communities, we must put a stop to binge drinking. We must say to ourselves, how are we going to change this? How are we going to fix this? One way we can fix this, we can all come together with this movement and move around the community and just spread the information with everyone. Create awareness for people that have problems with binge drinking. We can go to the local schools and the local churches and other programs and explain to them the effects of binge drinking, how it can ruin relationships, how it can harm society and ruin our health as a whole. We can also request price increases on alcohol. The less likely that individuals are able to purchase alcohol, the better. They're not at as risk of binge drinking. Their resources are limited and they are not going to consider spending overly amounts of money that they do not have for alcohol. We must also limit the hours that alcohol is sold. For example, we should not allow alcohol to be sold past 5 p.m. That will limit the resources that people have to buy alcohol when they can get it. And this will definitely help stop binge drinking as a whole. I hope that you all will decide to join my movement, and thank you all for listening.